Hello adventurers, I'm glad you wanted to join on this little side quest because today we are going to be diving into the world of Pokemon and we are going to be painting the first Kanto starters of Pokemon. So we have Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle, and we're going to paint them in my style today, right now. So yeah, let's get started. February I started playing the TCG game, and since then it now has fully been an obsession of mine. Lately I have been trying to paint a little bit more on my collection. So we have my binder, which I painted Oshawott, my favorite Pokemon, in. We have Pokemon deck box that I painted with Badoo and Celebi. And then I also lately made a playmat. It's very thick. I had it printed out and I love it because it's my own art with my favorite Pokemon on a playmat that I can actually use. So yeah. So now that I've shown you that, I think I can honestly say that I have been a little bit obsessed with it. So yeah, today we are just gonna do a full painting of the 3 starters. So my plan with this one is I want to have 3 different canvases, lay them next to each other and paint one full picture on them so that we have a continuous art but still be different paintings. And this is partly because I wanted to have 3 different paintings, but also I want to have the possibility of turning these into some art prints and selling them either as one picture themselves or as a set. I already came up with a little design in my notebook right here. And we're just gonna be figuring out how to do that. So I wanted to have them do something that their animals are based on. So I wanted Squirtle, because he's a turtle. I wanted him to sunbathe like a lot of turtles do. I wanted Charmander to be climbing a rock as many lizards do. And I wanted Bulbasaur to be enjoying the sun as well, but then looking at Charmander. So Bulbasaur is looking at Charmander, who is looking at Squirtle. So that is the plan. I usually start with a pink wash on my canvases, so that is what we are going to be doing. And then we are going to be sketching out with a little bit of a darker pink wash, and then we're going to go over it with color. It is actually way too hot to be wearing long sleeves, but we are going to be protected from this damn paint because I have gotten it too many times in my clothing. Scooch you away so I could be in frame and the painting. So yeah, no, but we've been really enjoying the community here in our neighborhood. We have 2 stores that we always go to play the game and to get cards. It's a very nice community. We love collecting the art, that's why we have binders. I personally love the illustration, full illustrations. I have a binder and it's completely themed out of pond buddies. That's kind of the theme that I went with. It's basically just, I wanted it to start with water lilies because that's my favorite plant. And now it just has resorted to things that look like plants and water together. So, and not specifically the sea, but there are some cards in there, but specifically loads of green and blue. So yeah, that's basically my binder. I made a trade yesterday, which was very fun. For 1 card, I got 9 cards in return, so I don't really care about the expensiveness of the cards to have them, so I'd rather just have the cards that I like than cards that I know are expensive. So yeah. I didn't really have much to yap about in this video, so we are just gonna be going further with the painting, and then I'm gonna check it back with you in either a voiceover or in real life. So, see you in a sec. Hello and welcome to Geek Corner. So yeah, I'm just doing a voiceover because I literally was in the zone whilst painting these 3 starters, and I still do not have anything to talk about, but I'm just gonna yap for a second. Basically, this is how I always work with paintings. I usually just go over with a magenta base and then I sketch it in magenta as well, and this is just, acrylics are very forgiving, but if you use pencil as a sketch, you could have very muddy results because of the transferring from the graphite. I used to do that when I was a little bit younger, but since I've ever discovered this method that people also, I think, seem to use in oil paints, I never have done anything else. So yeah. So for the base colors, I just started adding colors in the way I actually do just normally. I add the colors that I had in my head, giving them a little bit more of texture, and then going over finally with some more detail. I personally don't really change a lot of colors eventually. I just add more unless I don't like the hue of something. I can change that later with just a wash of some water and acrylics. In the beginning, I had the Charmander on a stone, but then I decided to go with just a block of wood. Maybe it was a tree falling down, because first I had some crystals in there and I thought maybe I could give them like a little hoard, but I found that to be too distracting compared to the other 2 paintings. I wanted these paintings to look well on their own, but also as a whole. So I wanted the details to be just enough for just one singular painting, but not be too overwhelming for all 3. And that is basically the whole process behind this whole painting process. I was very scared to finally start painting the little Pokemons because I don't want to get them wrong or get the colors wrong or the anatomy wrong of them. I think I made their faces a little bit different than that they usually are, but if you look at the designs that people make on the cards and on the official designs, they do differentiate between different styles. So eventually I just gave it my best, and made it look as much as possible as the original Pokemons. I usually don't draw animals like this. I usually go with a little bit more of a realistic style, but still being impressionistic. So yeah, this was also something new for me, because I usually don't do this much of a cartoonish style in painting. wanted to have a little yap session, because I already talked about the painting process, but I haven't really talked about what I like about Pokemon so much. Obviously, my partner, my boyfriend, he kind of threw the hobby onto me. He forced me basically to play the TCG game on our vacation in February, and since then I've liked playing the game. We play at least once every 2 weeks, and now that I have infiltrated a little bit more into the hobby, we play it every week. We try to go to one of the play stores in our area and meet new people there, and it's really fun. It's a big community, a lot of different ages, but it's also very fun to look at what people like about the hobby. There are people that spend so much money on their decks whilst playing. I think a few people have decks that are worth over more than $600 or euros in our country, which I would never do. I like collecting the cards, that's why I have a binder. As I've said before, the theme is pond buddies, so it's mostly water and some plants. And then I also have like a little page of cutie patooties. I don't really like the busy cards or the EX cards. They're not really my favorite in design, and I'm obviously a visual person because I paint a lot. That's why I like the art cards and looking at different artists and their way of work. Mostly of them are digital and some of them are traditional, which I really love. Right now I'm just showing you the process of some of the paintings. I haven't started on the details on the Pokemons yet, but we're gonna go getting into that. Personally, my favorite Pokemon is Oshawott, and I think it's probably gonna be Duot as well, but Oshawott mostly because he's a starter Pokemon, and my favorite animal is, and has always been since I was 13, is an otter. Specifically a river otter, so I think that's Duot a little bit more. Because Oshawott is based off of a sea otter. You have differences. I'm a geek in that kind of stuff. So yeah, Oshawott is my favorite Pokemon. But I also love a lot of other Pokemons. My partner and I, we made a full challenge of making our own team, and eventually I made illustrations of us with our teams. They're on my Instagram if you want to go see that. It's this page right here. Anyway, yeah, so I made hi cat. I made a whole illustration of me and my Pokemon team, which is my playmat. So yeah, you can say that the hobby has taken over just a little bit, but I don't really mind. We have decided not to go to any Ren fairs in the upcoming future because we kind of are going to a lot of Pokemon events instead. So because of the costs, and we are not two people who earn that much money to spend thousands on Pokemon, we decided to just get rid of one of our events and then replace it with this new hobby that we have. And now we are just adding the last details to our little Bulbasaur. Yeah, I really liked this painting process. It has been, I did the math, it has been 5 months since I've painted in general, which is crazy because my goal for this year was to paint more, which I had said in a video of a recap of last year. I've made more illustrations on the tablet, but I haven't physically painted a lot more than I would have liked. So now we have 3 new paintings, and just be ready for the next video because that's also going to be a painting video. I'm already going to tell you that because I already know exactly what I wanted to paint. It's just going to be a little bit of a bigger canvas, maybe like 10 times bigger, so you'll see that. Yeah, if you have a favorite Pokemon, please let me know in the comments. If you like the paintings, let me know that too. If you want to see me paint something else or some other Pokemon or something else, just in general, let me know, because if I had a talent, it will be painting. So here are the results. So the paintings are finally done. It took me 2 full days, but I'm very happy how they turned out. I was very curious how they would look like in my own art style, and I'm very happy that I went through the ugly stage first, and then now they're quite nice. But yeah, these are the paintings all together. They flow quite nicely because they were all painted at the same time, and I painted them in the order of their number. So the number 1 Pokemon is of course Bulbasaur, and I think he turned out quite cute. So yeah, it's just a little guy. I wanted the paintings to be nice together but also be nice just on their own. And then we have our Charmander as the second painting, so he's a little bit more at the top, but he looks very happy, so I'm very happy that he looks like that. And then we have my favorite out of them, which is our little Squirtle, who is taking a lovely nap. That is the last painting. So these are the 3 paintings that I made. And I think they're all very stinking cute. And we'll be making prints out of these. That is it. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video that also contains a lot of paint, probably. Okay, bye-bye.